Yield back.
It is an issue that needs a good bit of attention. Senator King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Cal, thank you for taking on this challenge and for your inspiring story. You demonstrate to this committee and to this country the value that immigrants and refugees can play in the future of our country, and you're a walking statement of that fact. I want to just emphasize something that you mentioned in your opening statement, and that is maintenance. It's the most boring topic of all, but as you correctly point out, one of our major problems is availability. We all talked about AI. I did a little AI work this morning. The average availability of Navy ships is in the range of 60%. It depends on which ship, but some are below 50, some are in the range of 65 or 70, but generally between 50 and 60%. The availability of Carnival Cruise Line ships is 91%. If Carnival Cruise Line ships were available 60% of the time, they'd be out of business. I hope that you'll carry through on what you suggest in your opening testimony and really get after this issue of maintenance and availability. I challenge you to come back to this committee in a couple of years and tell us we're benchmarking against Carnival Cruise Lines.
Thank you for that, Senator. Yes, we are a maritime nation. We depend on the seas for trade, and right now we're deficit in not just commercial ships. I think there's less than 80 flagged U.S. ships. There's less than 129 military Sea Level Command ships, and our fleet is, less than 400 ships right now, and or actually less than 300 ships. And we need a stronger Navy in order to maintain the freedom of the seas.
I agree with that. We're not building enough ships, but we're also not keeping the ships that we have in service. I take it you agree with that.
Yes, Senator. The ASABO, or the operational availability, is pretty horrid on a lot of ships.
I'll look forward to tracking that with you as time goes on. Mr. Dodd, you have, I think, one of the most important jobs in the Pentagon, which is technology. Technology, the adaptation of new technology is what wins wars. Genghis Khan was able to conquer the world because of his utilization of the stirrup, which enabled his archers to shoot from horseback, and it was that technology that enabled him. The longbow at the Battle of Agincourt enabled 6,000 British troops to defeat an army of 20,000 French. I'm worried, and you mentioned several technologies in your testimony, but we've basically been slow on several technologies. We've been slow on drones, on hypersonics, and particularly on directed energy, which you didn't mention. But in the age of drones, directed energy can be more important than ever. The prior administration woefully underfunded the development of directed energy. I hope that's something that you will pursue in your new position.
Senator, thank you for raising that very important issue. And if confirmed, directed energy would be a technology area in the critical technologies portfolio. I'm a staunch advocate and believer, as you referenced, in a one-to-many response in utilizing many faster, cheaper platforms, and certainly in the counter-UAS domain. Directed energy will play a critical role in that. High-performance microwaves are making some significant advances. Those platforms have already been prototyped. They're being tested currently. So we are excited to, again, if confirmed, see the growth and scaling of directed energy platforms.
Well, I'd point out in the Red Sea today, we're shooting down $20,000 Yemeni and Iranian drones with $4 million missiles. That's unsustainable, and a shot from a directed energy is about 75 cents. So this is urgent, and I hope it is pursued not only systematically, but also with some urgency.
Senator, fully commit to pursuing directed energy platforms if confirmed.
Thank you. Mr. Ingraham, logistics, acquisition, and technology. One of the hidden issues there is industrial base. And everybody that comes before this committee talks about rebuilding the industrial base. And part of that is workforce. The industrial base can't grow and support what we need with the limited workforce that we have now. So I hope that will be a significant part, because you can't do acquisition if you don't have people to acquire the products from. Is industrial base part of what you view as your mission?
Senator, absolutely. The industrial base is absolutely critical, and ensuring that we have a strong industrial base is fundamental to acquisitions, as you mentioned. I think a number of key things, if confirmed, I would want to make sure we're doing is first understanding where those critical gaps are in our industrial base. We've got to map that industrial base, starting right from the mine all the way to the factory floor to where we see in the value stream. We need to ensure we're adding some resilience and some strength to our industrial
I would
base.
suggest that one important provision here, one important initiative is a steady demand signal. We can't expect our private sector contractors to make major investments unless they know they're going to be able to sell their products. So multi-year contracting and a steady demand signal is important. They're not going to invest if it's going to be turned off and on and they don't know if they're going to have the business a year or two later. So I hope you'll consider that as well.
Senator, absolutely. Multi-year procurements has been critical, especially in the munitions space, where we're ensuring that we drive that constant demand signal.
And it saves the taxpayers money. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you,